in the last 5 years, I've seen such a rise in OCD, and I can pinpoint why, um, because of our society and because of this. Um, I don't know how to put it, but the world is programming you to create perfection within. I mean, sorry, create perfection externally. Sorry.
Mhm.
And if you think about the West, it's very much centered around creating perfection outside of you. Whereas, like, let's say in Gaza, for example, they grow up being programmed that externally there is no perfection, externally there is no comfort, there is no stability. But if you think about the West, and a lot of the messages we get is maybe even on Instagram, and this is just one component of it. It's a bigger discussion, and I won't be able to cover it. We're programmed to become more and more. This is nafs centered too. The nafs plays a role, but becoming more and more in trying to control the external environment, right? So that we can feel secure within. So if you think about like the people of Gaza, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the external environment to be unstable. I mean, this is the society they live in, right? They were programmed. This is why they're even from childhood, they understand there's no stability. This is so clear. The hakika of that is so clear, so sharp in their hearts, right? So they have no choice but to do what? But to develop an inner fortress internally, right? Whereas in the West, we are programmed to depend our internal peace on external factors. If I'm always comfortable, if the temperature is always right, if I have the nice aesthetic, the perfect aesthetic in my home, boho vibes, then I could feel, like all these things that we are programmed, just giving, they're silly examples, but it plays a role, right? That if I have all these things, then I'm good. And then what happens then when one thing is off? Like people who say, for example, I don't like I don't like I heard someone say, I don't like traveling or something. I don't like being away from the home because then I won't be able to do my skin routine, or I won't be able to do my, take my magnesium, do my skin routine. We're creating rigidity even in our routines, that when something goes off in the routine, people are like, I can't have this. So we're getting away from flexibility. So there's so many factors. Now I forgot why I got on this, but there was a point that you said that I wanted to get back to. Um,
You were mentioning that you've seen a rise of it in the past 5 years, and then you
yeah,
started going into when you look at.
just that it is a big issue. But no, there was a point that you said that I was trying to highlight in a long-winded way. um, subhanallah. But I think just speaking to the fact that you have to be conscious of these things, and you have to be conscious of how Allah's merciful towards us, but also just to guard yourself from going to that. Like if you can, I think, create moments, what I would tell people is to create moments where when self-doubt arises, and it keeps you from showing up to something good that Allah's calling you to face your fear, to
Mm.
face the anxiety. Like even in OCD treatment, what is the treatment? It's exposure therapy. It's through the fear. You can't do it any other way. It's through the doubt. It's you have to face it. And so I would tell people, if you have doubts, if you have anything that's like you keep ruminating over, or that you're not good enough, that the Ramadan is not going to be accepted, the only way is to sit with it and not and face your fear of it, and still show up to do the good, because that's
Mm.
how you conquer. It's to follow it by action. It's to that it by your actions you're showing that the thought remained at the thought level, and that the action is actually what Allah's going to judge me for, which is what we
SubhanAllah.
know, right, from a hadith, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you. If you get an evil thought, for example, and you do good and you don't follow through on it, Allah rewards you, right? And so I would just tell people to focus on your actions. Don't live inside the space and lead from the space. The way that you step out of your mind and you treat this mind as a servant is, let's say you have a doubt about prayer, just rip the band-aid. I'm going to pray because that's what Allah's judging me for. And I'm going to face that anxiety, and it's going to be uncomfortable, but I'm going to sit with it. And I'm going to remind myself that I'm safe, that I'm okay, that Allah's judging me, Allah's close with me. Affirmations, right? And, so anyways, I'll stop here because I know this topic is I could get into so many details of it. Yeah.
Barakallah khairan.